would DeVries betray her fellow agents like that? A rhetorical question. I already know. Just making conversation.
There's the Unray scanning device the scientist was talking about.
By my next victim, I mean a hostile combatant.
Lies in annihilation. Everything must be done before it can be.
I shall not stay your execution!
Attack the interlopers!
Didn't need to assault an arbiter.
do it. Let's get on with the killing.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
Enemy spotted.
We're finding a haven from these attacks. Hasten their demise. How dare you attempt to hamper my ascension?
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Your heart, Commander. Steel yourself.
Better investigate.
That should do it. Let's get on with the killing.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
Malefactor ahead.
Recharge for mayhem.
Curse you for keeping the masses in darkness. Closing in.
Taking punitive
Coming
action.
for you.
Weapon prime!
Leave at once.
You there, you must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander? Good point. We'll kill him after we get the information.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you, except if you attempt to interrupt my work, you will no doubt meet the same end as your fellows. Leave, and you may yet live.
This guy is hilarious. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes how much more worried he should have been about me than all the other nonsense around here. Where are you going? Our task here is yet unfinished. There are still traitorous swine drawing breath. I suppose you know what you are doing, but we'll need to return eventually to finish this lot off.
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this.
Pendulous killing tool who has isolated you from my hand. How dare you hamper my ascension with your dissonance? Who's that?
Prosecuting! Visceral! I would not. Thanks, and my hammer.
Be on guard. I'm coming for transpiring event. Look at the sad little sprat in his corrugated metal cage. Why don't you unlock the door and come out, sprat? Nobody's here.
Oh, an enemy.
None shall stand against us!
Thank you very, very much for dealing with those cult... it seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitors, charlatans.
I can see it would be best for me to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. Oh, I shouldn't have had to worry. Damn that Victor and damn his hubris. Fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife, that he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. Pardon my excitement. It's been an eventful day. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. I know some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Because he refused to follow procedure. He didn't take an assistant or allow anyone to see his data, and now it's all consigned to oblivion. What a waste. There's no such thing as invisibility. The cultists are out of phase. Also, I strongly recommend against exposing yourself to processed N-rays. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. But if you're not attached to the solid state of your organs, I suppose it might be nice to be less visible for a few hours. Although it requires further investigation and experimentation, out of phase refers to a shift in the dimensional presence of these cultists. They are physically here, but only partially, hence their unseen state. It's fascinating. But the outstanding fear for my life has made it difficult to think scientifically. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
My holdout. I once again ask you to stop. Filled with unseen traps. Whether cultist or wayward scientist, you will be killed. I cannot afford your interruption.
Commander. dying at once!
I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. Because the order cannot be hindered by war or by compromise. Any obstacles must be removed, as much as I regret the need to do so. If De Vries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. At the end of all things, my decisions were predestined. I am not at liberty to divulge the reasoning behind my actions. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you. Your verbiage does not conceal the gaps in your knowledge. But the presiding bishop has taught us that ignorance is not a punishable sin. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. But surely, over time, these deviations would subside? Though I do not seek the abolition of free will, no. No, humanity would do what is best for itself. I'm sure. De Vries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth. And if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued. The one right path for humanity, revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. Do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? That's not all this. Helping DeVries, completing the work on my explosives is important. It matters. DeVries agrees. Augustine couldn't have done such a thing. She was on a secret mission at the time. I don't wish to believe you, but what you're saying has the ring of truth to it. I've been a fool going along with this farce. But it stops now. My relationship with Augustine is at an end.
This poor fool seemed intent on doing himself and us both. Impressive work convincing him otherwise. Let's say I have a go at him with my disemboweling knife. See what he knows. Your loss. Don't like to boast, but I am quite the artiste with a knife.
I believe that's another thanks I owe you. You certainly keep interesting company. I found a way to, via the use of processed N-rays, send objects out of phase. It was inconsistent, but I was close to isolating the procedure. DeVries needed explosives for her plan. By making them unseen, the explosives could be placed as efficiently as possible. No one would be maimed or injured, just killed. Saying that out loud now, it sounds unreal. But somehow, I convinced myself that leaving no survivors was more humane. It's a shame I can't speak to a vicar. Here, it is the key to my quarters. Take whatever you find. That will ensure that I cannot use any of it to further DeVries' aims, even if I wanted to. I appreciate your consideration. Things could have been very different had your cooler head not prevailed. You've certainly convinced me I cannot remain here. May we meet again, when the paths of our lives are at greater apexes.
My fellow Loyalists, it is time. Due to the Earth Directorate operatives' continued meddling, we must increment our timetable by a factor of hours, not days. Accordingly, our forces have taken over the monastery. Those I predetermined to be resilient to reason have been executed. The rest should not cause us trouble. I have locked the lift to prevent the agent from reaching the monastery, but the following code will grant you access. 34145. I will continue my work from here, supplying Augustine with everything she needs for our plan to succeed, and delaying the agent as I'm able to. May the results of our actions today secure a more prosperous tomorrow for our sacred order.
Seer Wiley isn't very good at this whole seer business, is he? Nice of him to just hand us the code like that. We should remember to mock him for that as he bleeds out. Damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them.
The leader of a cell. In this case, that would be Ziegler. And extinguishing him is obviously our next priority.
They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. I saw one of them earlier. We should go see what information it will yield to us. I'll mark your map with its location.
This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much, but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. I'm right behind you, but not in a threatening way.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to paradise? One never relishes saying what we did.
When I asked the seer for medical specialists, take this. Now, will there be anything else? From a medical standpoint, here. Now, will there be anything else? How can I be of service?
Grand Architect! First an attack on the agent. Oh, thank good odds and high probabilities you're back. There's been an incident. A rogue faction has taken over the monastery. My seer, Seer Wiley, is trapped up there with other hostages of the Order. To make matters worse, my access code's not working. Without it, I've no way of calling the lift. Peace talks. Yes, Ruth informed me, but how did you learn of them? No one outside a select circle are supposed to be aware they're happening. That's a serious accusation. Why would I do such a thing? No, I can't discuss this right now. The monastery. You do seem a decent sort. And it would be a relief to leave all this secrecy behind me. The truth is, I held Wiley back. I kept him from advancing for my own selfish gains by spreading lies and false concern over his competence behind his back. But I needed him. I still need him. I'm not the savant he is, never have been. If he'd advanced beyond his current role, my deficiencies would have been made manifest to all. I'm sorry, but we really haven't the time to litigate this issue further. In case I didn't make it clear before, the monastery is currently in jeopardy. Representatives of Auntie's Choice in the Order are meeting to discuss an armistice and possible collaboration. It's an unprecedented opportunity to shorten this war. I know I mentioned it before, but compartmentalization is crucial to the success of most of the Order's operations. I wish I could offer more details than that. If this De Vries is responsible, then I agree with your objective. But don't forget the innocents caught in the middle. They need your help too. But I'm afraid I won't be accompanying you. I can't be sure my presence wouldn't alter the outcome of your efforts in prodigious and unforeseen ways. I have full confidence in your skills. You are an Earth Directorate agent, after all. For myself, I regret to say I'm a peacetime abbot. I was never meant to navigate a war. Once you reach the monastery, make your way to the observatory. If the conspirators are seeking the coordinates of the talks, no doubt their efforts will be concentrated there. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
I've always wanted to fight a man. Fight a mathematician.
I am 100% certain that his tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined strength. Probably.
Wait, look! Someone came up the other lift. It must be a moth.
Seer Wiley said I wasn't. He must have predicted I wouldn't fight back. I don't understand. Where's the abbot? Right? isn't he doing something?
I swear, the more he talks, the more pain it makes me want to inflict on his person.
Setting into motion the future most aligned with the plan. Hold that belief in your minds. Let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now, time for execution. Those outside the order and some simpleton.
Nice of Sheer Wiley to leave us this light. Sorry. Communication device.
That device may be the deciding factor in whether you live or die in the near future.
There!
Unless you can expedite hemostasis and proliferate tissue on your own within a fraction of a second.
But I have been told my pain tolerance exceeds normal thresholds.
Your mother must be so proud.
Solutions were seen.
Attributing it to incidental environment.
Right down, not stayed.
This might sting. A lot.
I despise.
Exceptional effort. Replenishing mechanism.
I suppose you can penetrate those N-RAID junction boxes using the scanner, since this path apparently cannot be straightforward.
Scientific advancement should not cover. Armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya, but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative.
Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist. I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 Thesis on determinism then.
Imprisoned? Goodness, no. We are anchorites for the Order, child. This is where we conduct our divine calling, debating scientific precept and theory. Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief.
Widespread suffering is already taking place.
Then its causes should be observed, quantified, and a non-violent solution found. You do not extinguish a fire with more flame.
Tell that to the Protectorate.
We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate.
I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important.
And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing. More or less, Seer Wiley put the question to us last week. Naturally, the problem of interference versus non-interference led us to a broader discussion of war's overall necessity. Oddly, he has not returned for his solution, which is just as well since we remain divided on an answer, though I'm confident we'll get there.
Good for him. About time someone put theory into application.
What my colleague means is Landon Wiley is among our most gifted and dedicated seers. Whatever actions he's taken must be in service of the plan. I do hope no one's been hurt, though. I see. That is distressing to hear. But as we in the Order like to say, the plan actuates by deliberate means. Let us hope this conflict resolves itself soon.
Augustine? Sure. She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get.
I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask?
Augustine was obsessed with the rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions. So I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. I'm sure I have no notion of what you're referring to. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
Found another one. Damn it. I knew there'd be a high probability of fighting, but I didn't think...
Aggressor at hand.
Document every corpse you find so we have an accurate head count later.
We gave them the option to join us.
Reduce them to a flurry! Good. Another gore-splattered bathhouse. If you've seen one, you've really seen them all. Trust me.
Well, that's just plain wrong. Whoever wired this up should be expelled from the Order. I thought they had some self-respect.
all things happen for a reason. But the wise among us know that nothing occurs without a catalyst.
Void it all! I told him he wasn't going to make it! Hey, Roger always said he wanted his body donated to the Order if it'd help advance the plan. But I'm sure this wasn't what he had in mind. Can any of this really be in service to the universal equation, like the Seers claim?
Can you believe this place? It's like we're hunting Order members in their natural habitat. I should make a serial about us.
For a reason, but the wise among us know.
Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for? You're in luck. I just finished my third reread of it. Chapter 47 is a real treat. When we're finished speaking, I'll put it in the collection drawer, but do take care with it, especially around the bath. We lose more good books that way. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once.
Follow the plan. We'll be
I know this ain't gonna get to the abbot, but I have complaints that need registering anyhow. This monastery's too big for the staff we've got, and it sure seems like the scienticians and theorists here ain't fixated on keeping neat. I might just be a novice, but at 73 years of age, I have enough self-respect that I shouldn't be picking up another body's lavation towels. Still, ain't as bad as it was in Auntie's choice, but that don't mean it's good. I just ask you folks to remember that there's more of importance out here than just your numbers.
It's the unknown variable!
I am primed to fight!
Nowhere near as interesting as the taxidermied cross-sections displaying their internal organs I made when I was a child.
Keep firing the button. Eliminate the target.
This might sting. A lot.
Isn't this fancy? Guessing these are the Abbot's quarters.
Oh, looks like he has a new volume of Star-Crossed Amidst the Stars. I thought that series was out of print.
I always knew you Arbiters were a soft-headed lot.
There's nothing shameful about being well-read. How else is an Arbiter to know them?
Intervention, she would make peace with the primitive minds of Auntie's choice. This must be prevented, whatever the cost, or humanity's ascendance will be forestalled by centuries, if not millennia. Agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die. screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
As if we'd fall for their stalling tactics just to watch these poor fools die slowly and horribly, mangled like punch cards. What were we talking about again?
It pains me to say so, but I believe we should take the time to save the hostages. Whatever DeVries wreaks can be undone. These deaths cannot.
I prefer to kill my enemies first, innocent hostages later.
Other arbiters would disagree, but I believe this to be right. These hostages must live through today to rejoin the Protectorate tomorrow.
Definitely not. We should be the only ones killing hostages around here.
High probability. Wiley's trapped us here. He let some others go, but didn't even give us the chance to surrender. Surrender? He's lost his wits. What's going on about his...
Safe ahead. Looks like more order nonsense. Must be part of Wiley's inane puzzle.
Reacquiring target. Think it'll be fast with a punch card machine, you know. Investigating the...
You certainly reached deep into your lexicon for that one.
Reacquiring target.
None shall stand against us!
About to vet grenade on its predetermined trajectory. Engaging grenade well thrown.
Requesting prime. I will restore my life or avenge my death. Oh no, some help first.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
A random occurrence, perchance. Analyzing.
To battle!
Seems we've effectively begun their bubble. Idiots.
Actually impressive. I've never had so many individual reasons to kill someone before.
tell you our friends are beat up? Hurry! Disable the cord processing!
I still say it would have saved time for us to just kill the hostages ourselves.
Thank you, stranger. This is the okay, yes.
Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for? Wonderful. Please deposit the titles in that drawer there, and we will review it forthwith. Excellent timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares.
You too, huh? Hush. The theoreticians are talking.
Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop.
I see someone has been reading On the Origin of Sprats. It has that effect on people.
Mental carceration and the potential unreality of conscious experience adds an interesting dimension to the argument. It's certainly worth exploring.
Perhaps later. For now, I feel we should reward our guest with their choice of reward, given the idiosyncratic nature of his conclusion. Armor or weapon? Very well. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer.
Search required.
Anticipating trouble. Investigating disturbance.
Testing my hypothesis.
Terminating unproductive activity.
Taking punitive action.
Sharp enough. Hostiles nearby.
At your word, I shall charge!
You have my thanks.
Climbing my pride. Indivisible.
Oh, look! A room. A room dedicated to the insignificance of human existence inside a temple dedicated to mathematically proving its pointlessness. Pointlessness.
find fratricide ridiculous.
cannot believe Clemens fell for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. Flattering. But also, I suspect, largely disingenuous. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. In a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us, I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. De Vries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment. What in the Architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. My math is correct. My math is always correct. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What could I have done? Where did I err? Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs. But all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse. Though I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. To believe I mattered in the plan's grand scheme.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything.
It would seem that our work here is done. Let us return to the ship and press on to those so-called peace talks.
Leave me be. I have no more predictions to offer, now or ever.
Agent, over here. It seems the situation here has been resolved, but I don't see Seer Wiley. Were you able to secure his safety? What? No, but that can't possibly be true. Landon would never align himself against the Order? Against a friend? You must be mistaken. Or maybe his calculations led him astray. Yes, that must be what happened. Indeed, just a small error. Were you able to speak with him? Help him recover his senses? I'm greatly relieved to hear it. Did he mention me at all? Allow me to reframe my inquiry. Did he show remorse for his actions? Any regret for betraying those who fitted him inside the narrow circumference of their trust? I'd rather hope that would not come to light. I gather he did not receive the revelation well. I'm sure you also think me to blame for all of this. But you have to understand my position. How ill-equipped all in the Order are for this new world. With the schism and now the war, the Order stands alone for the first time in its storied history. We have no experience with governance. Well, myself especially. Education takes time, and that is the one thing the Order does not seem to have in abundance these days. Still, I take your meaning. We must do better. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery. Regrettable as the business was. You are welcome to collect the experimental weapon inside the observatory, the Oracle. It was Landon's design. Only seems fitting you take it. This key will unlock the case. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
Best we start discussing strat.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
Should we consider going in with a plan this time? Or is it going to be another improvised free-for-all?
Despite my skepticism regarding these peace negotiations, I favor the idea of interrupting your saboteur's malevolent aims.
More like toy soldiers, I'd wager. Might be good for a distraction.
Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised. In the absence of Victor and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander.
Or, and this is just a suggestion, we turn the traps against anyone who tries to stop us, huh?
Additionally, per the Earth Directorate Manual, when lacking equivalent combat forces, determination and vast amounts of ammunition may make up the difference.
You know where I stand. This war's taken too many good folk from us. I'll be damned if I let DeVries add to that number.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of our own Phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
Great. This one was for Niles, right? It was great meeting you, Niles. You're right. An agent's life is a busy one, and there's little time for meeting with citizens to say farewell in person. But we are happy to be of service. As for your question, there's absolutely no reason you couldn't become an agent if you put your mind to it. It only requires hard work and a dedication to the greater good. I have no doubt that you have what it takes to be one of the best and the brightest, Niles. Good luck to you. And look me up if, or should I say when, you become an agent.
That damn Wiley put us in an impossible situation. I'm glad those hostages can go back to their families, but I fear we played right into DeVries' hands. With that data, she could wreak more havoc than we anticipated. Look, I know the choice is yours on how you want to approach this, but it's my folk in the crosshairs. If something happens to our delegate, I don't know how I'd live with myself. If there's space by your side, I hope you'll call on me. Sure, but don't get me wrong. I ain't asking this of you for my own benefit. We got a duty to protect everyone at the peace talks. You as an Earth Directorate agent, me as a soldier. It's what we do. If we fail to stop DeVries, this will have dire consequences for the war and everything else. So let's not fail, huh? How personal are we talking? Couldn't say. I was in it all of 2 days before my graft started festering. Before that, I was an infantry medic. Our platoon was one of the first to touch down in Arcadia. I would have continued serving on the front line in an upgraded capacity, but, well, once the state of my graft became apparent, it was decided that parting ways would be best. My commanding officer, and the surgeon who performed the operation, I imagine. I wasn't lucid at the time. When I regained consciousness, I saw that my service pistol was gone, and a termination notice was in its place. I put 2 and 2 together. Well, that was a bad morning. Look, I knew dismissal was a possibility when I volunteered for the procedure. A successful graft is a boon, a failed one is a colossal liability. I'm a walking lesson in breakage. Oh, that information is outside my purview. I miss my platoon. Most of the time. I hope they're holding on okay wherever they are. Huh. If nothing else, they'll have Ortiz to keep up morale. I know the nonstop jokes from that bastard sustained me for weeks. Yeah, he's tough. He'll be all right. Of course I do. Can't help but wonder if I'm missed in return. Anyhow, I would rather return to the matter at hand. No use dwelling on those out of sight and out of mind. Right. If this new graft fails, you mean? Then I keep pushing forward till I can't anymore. You didn't see me when I first got out of surgery and came to Paradise Island. The fact that you and I met at all is a testament to Doc's skill. But suppose if her treatment doesn't stick, then maybe it's my time to go. You can only cheat death so many times. You know that as well as I do. Oh, I couldn't even tell you who that doctor was or where they're stationed. Grafting was a procedure in its infancy, see? So corporate liked to keep things hush-hush. Can't say I like the thought of it. Could have been cut open in the middle of a cave for all I know. I'd rather not dwell on those moments, if it's all the same to you. What matters is the here and now. Fine by me. Well, like I said, we were both in the same unit. Me as a combat medic, him as a machine gunner. Everyone in my unit was from Tau Ceti, so we already had that in common. And we served on the front lines, which made us look out for one another that much more. See, most of us were laborers, and we just got our first real shot at something greater. We wanted to make a name for ourselves, and what better way to do that than become a hero? Our onboarders promised that if we demonstrated exceptionalism, showed initiative, that we'd get promoted quick. And our days of living in squalor would be far behind us. It ain't like they forced us to join up. We did that on our own. And it said in our contract that they could send us wherever we were needed. Can't complain if where we're needed is in a trench staring down the barrels of a minigun. I reckon that's a difference in perspective. We spent a week crouched in the same foxhole under aerial bombardment. Shared water 1 sip at a time by the end of it. Anyone would have been friends after that. I don't know if I would have made it out alive without him. Maybe I'll tell him that over a beer one day. Praise him in front of the whole saloon. Law knows he's got a thing for heroics. He kept me clear-headed. Every so often there'd be a lull in the bombardments and I'd hear voices all across the field, calling out for aid, for Mama, for death. Almost got my head clean taken off when I tried to scramble out of the foxhole the first night. I heard a call for help and moved on instinct. Damn foolish of me, really. Ortiz told me not to panic, to wait till he could provide cover, to just shout first aid instructions where I could. It was too valuable to fall in battle, he said. It was a rough few nights at first, knowing I couldn't help folk who needed it. And the reward for that torment was my life. I appreciate that, Commander. In any case, I'm only standing here because of a damn fine soldier who became my friend. I'll carry that knowledge always. Fine by me? Like ain't the word I'd use, even before I was itching to tear up my contract and set it aflame. Auntie gave me autonomy, gave me the choice to do more than just struggle to survive. They treated me better than my last employers did, and despite recent events, I believe in their mission. We can give folk here in Arcadia a better life. What, did you think I was born into it? How else do you grow a corporation to this size without doing outside recruiting? Take a look at what most systems offer, and what Auntie's Choice provides. Do the math. I'm just one of many who welcomed the chance to enlist with open arms. Of course. Going from a life lived in squalor to one that rewards you on merit, it would send anyone's mind spinning. Now, do I got qualms with Auntie? Sure. But I'll tell you what, when she overthrew those Spacer's Choice bastards in Tau Ceti, my home system, that takeover was the best thing that ever happened to us, even if it took time to see it. But I reckon that's a tale for another day. That all you wanted to discuss, or? Fine by me? Oh, come on. It's just a hobby. An obvious one at that. I picked up drawing from the grandpa in the domicile next door back in Tau Ceti. When I was a kid, he told me the best way to appreciate nature was to create some of your own and carry it with you. The notion's taken on a bit of a different meaning now with Auntie, but I reckon that grandpa has the right of it. Vincent. He used to draw posters and ads for Spacer's Choice. He had style. Of course, that didn't last. Age caught up and his hands started failing him. Couldn't draw, couldn't lift heavy objects, could hardly walk without exerting himself. And in Tau Ceti, if you couldn't work, you didn't get ration cards. We shared what we could with him, of course, but what we got already wasn't much. Last day I saw him, he refused the half-salt tuna can I tried to give him. Said it was him lending me his strength. He was gone the next day. We searched all over, then realized he must have wandered off into the wilderness, not wanting to be a burden. We never found him. Can't hardly open a tin without thinking about him now. So if you're wondering why I still hold a candle for Auntie's Choice, after everything, it's because I know had Auntie arrived just 4 months earlier, Vincent might still be alive. It's been years now since I talked about it. He was a good man. He deserved better. So did the rest of us. Anyhow, ain't meaning to talk your ear off. Fine by me? Not great. It was a mining colony under Spacer's Choice. Didn't have much, but my parents worked hard to ensure we had shelter and a warm meal every day. They're good folk. I love them. But I don't think they ever quite grasped how bad things were before Auntie's Choice came. They warned me not to join up, you know. Said we'd all get burned if we put too much stock in the promises of this foreign corporation. But I'd rather take a risk on them than be resigned to how things were. Our colony was isolated, which meant our Spacer's Choice overlords could do as they saw fit. Everyone lived in squalor, save for a select few. We were little more than workhorses. Those of us at the bottom only found joy with our families, our friends. But love alone can't get you through the toughest, darkest winters. I miss the sunsets, and my folks, though I know they're well taken care of nowadays. But that's about it. Most of my friends joined up when I did, so we took our community with us. Leaving my hometown itself, it was an eager farewell. No, not at all. But I ain't sure my folks oppose them now. They have good jobs and a roof that doesn't leak. The ones who didn't adjust, however, was our management. Some of them tried to cut a deal. Company secrets in exchange for an entry-level administrative role, and made it out okay. But most violently opposed the takeover, and that ain't hypothetical. Reckon a bullet in the gray matter was more palatable than being forced to the bottom rung. Says it all, really. Fine by me.
Fizzo's Purple Berry Crunch. The K means it's authentic. Now with 110% of your daily chemical
Victor wasn't exactly the partner in crime I envisioned DeVries to have. Someone with a little more grit. That man back there? Reckon a tough crossword puzzle would have eventually sent him over the edge, even if we hadn't come along. I'm glad we were able to show him a little grace. DeVries obviously manipulated him into acting against his conscience. You ever wonder what might have happened if DeVries had let us in on her initial plan? Surely we wouldn't have been taken in by her rhetoric like Victor. Right? You should have met her before Horizon Point. She was really something. It's just, I look at someone like Victor and see the trap I might have fallen into. True, but DeVries is still DeVries. She's good at deconstructing folks, uncovering their points of failure. She'd have known I had my heart set on being a hero. After Triangulum, all I wanted was to do for other colonies what Augustine had done for mine. Still do, if I'm honest. Maybe not. Past 10 years have more or less proven that out. Thanks for letting me wax for a bit. We can get back to what we were doing now. Unless there was something else you needed. Found it, huh? No. You know what? This one's on me. Shouldn't have left a line about... Yeah, well, I didn't have all the facts about Horizon Point until recently, did I? Truth is, I was getting ready to toss that old thing. Guess I just wanted to listen to it one last time. See if I missed anything other than her waxing about the greater good. I don't know. Some hint of who she really was? Some sign that she could turn into someone who betrayed her own team? Sounds stupid said out loud. You know, I can't really remember what the others sounded like. Helen, Eric, Wade. I've tried recalling their voices, but there's just nothing. Static. All these years. And the only recording I've managed to preserve is from the one person I'd rather forget. Kind of you to say, Commander. I hope it continues to be true. No, burn it, launch it out the airlock, do whatever you want with it. It means nothing to me now anyway. It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Anti-Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out. Found it, huh? No. You know what? This one's on me. Shouldn't have left it lying about, or gave it away. Apart, truth is, I was getting ready to toss that old thing. Guess I just wanted to listen to, I don't know. Sounds stupid. You know, all these years. And the only recording I've managed to preserve is from the one person. Kind of you to say, Commander. No, burn it, launch it out the airlock, do whatever you want with it. Oh yeah? What's needling you? Shit. Knew I was forgetting something. They're all yours if you want them. I had some trouble adjusting in the years after Horizon Point. I was in pain more times than I wasn't. Had trouble sleeping. The drinks helped. Until they didn't. I will. Just so long as you promise not to take notes or nothing. I'm not some patient or specimen, Commander. Just so we're clear. For those first few years, every time I laid down and closed my eyes, I went back there, to Horizon Point. I'd swear I could feel the explosion again, the heat coming at me. I'd wake suddenly in the middle of the night, startling at nothing, sweating like I'd run a race. Sometimes Zeb set up with me. He told me I'd get better with time, and I did. The sedatives he was occasionally able to get his hands on didn't hurt neither. Anyway, that was the past. I'm good now. I found other ways to cope. Healthier ones. Those are some nice vintages. Or will be, someday. Could even turn into collector's items, depending on how things shake out in Arcadia. Be a crying shame to just space them. Honestly, I'd forgotten I even stashed them in that safe until you mentioned it. I just wanted them somewhere out of sight, so I didn't lean on a bad habit. When I'm not out there heroically saving the colony, I like to tinker around the ship or work on Val. I exercise. Been considering taking up cross-stitch. What do you think? That was a joke, but always appreciate a vote of confidence. Was there anything else you needed, Commander? Fair point. Guess Horizon Point didn't exactly foster a lasting fellowship, did it? All I heard about this moon called Eden. Ain't much lived up to the name, though. All jesting aside, what's there to tell? Spent the first year getting back up on my feet, literally. Been mostly laying low since then, maintaining my cover. Before the invasion, at least, the Earth Directorate still needed someone to watch the colony, and I had 2 working lamps. Not always. Went a couple of stretches there on low power to avoid detection from protectorate patrols. I usually shut her down for a few cycles then. The way you're gawping at me right now makes me think I answered that question wrong. I appreciate the concern. Won't lie, had some hard years. Got caught up in a few lost causes, the particulars of which I'd rather not go into now, if it's all the same. I found you. Oh, and Val's been stalling less since I patched her acclimator. Ship doesn't smell anymore. That's about it. Spratwurst. I was trying to teach myself some new skills in the galley. Val got it into her hardware. I needed a hobby. I figured Spratwurst ain't an easy meal to mess up. Well, I learned about 20 ways how not to fix a worst. I could ask you the same thing. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd gone back to my old life instead of becoming an agent. Stayed on Triangulum, become an engineer or something near to it. I knew joining up with the Earth Directorate wasn't going to be a life of low turbulence, but at least it'd have dignity and purpose to it. Not much dignity in having your limbs blown off. Sorry, that was blunt. I just get tired of talking around it, you know? But back to your initial question, do I regret becoming an agent? Yeah, some days. But then there's days like the one when I found you, and, well, not much to regret there. Only thing I know for sure is my opinion today is colored by more than just the rosy tint of a low-run kid looking up at the stars. Life's not fair, but it keeps on. Yeah, I sure came by that wisdom, honest. I've got time. Like most colonies, good people being ground down from above. A lot of fancy talk from suits about streamlining and quarterly earnings while them on the line barely scrape by. Triangulum's known for churning out freighters, and shipbuilding ain't exactly known for being clean, safe work neither. Especially when corners get cut. Can't remember a time I didn't end the day all banged up, filthy, and smelling like I just crawled out of an exhaust port. You never forget your first time manually flushing a propulsion tank, do you? Funny thing was, I wasn't even an engineer back then. But I wanted to learn, so I paid attention. Too good of attention, as it turned out. I was working late one evening and overheard something I shouldn't have. Some bigwigs exchanging inside information that would have cost the corporation a pretty bit. A day later, I was being accused of corporate espionage. Didn't want to bring any heat down on anyone else, so I went on the run before the first jackboot showed up at my door. Oh, now, you'll have to tell me what those other things are sometime. I was on the run for, I don't even know how long. The days sort of bled into one another. I started losing hope of things ever changing for the better. Then, the Earth Directorate showed up. They liberated Triangulum, pulling me and the rest of the colony out from under the corporate boot. Joining up after that just made sense. She was one of the forward agents who went ahead to assess just how bad Triangulum had gotten. We met while I was in hiding, and I helped her learn the lay of the land, as it were. She was no nonsense. I thought her one of the smartest people I'd ever met. And while she could also be cutting, I felt like I only caught her edge when I deserved it. I liked her. And for some reason, she seemed to take a shine to me. But she wasn't around long. By the time I officially joined up, she'd already moved on to the next mission. Sure was. Kept hoping I might run into her during training. But now I know she was busy turning her coat here in Arcadia. My folks shuffled off the motor coil when I was little. Assembly line accident. Got passed between some distant relations for a few years. They tried their best. Weren't cruel or nothing, but life on Triangulum was tough. And they had their own families to worry about, you know? I didn't like feeling like I was adding to their burden, so I struck out on my own just as soon as I could. And well, you know how that turned out. Yeah. Thoughts crossed my mind over the years, especially when it was just me and Val. I wish I spent more time with her when I had the chance. No point missing something you're never getting back, though. That's either hope or foolishness, Commander, and I can't tell which. Even if we survive the rift, 10 years is a long time to be gone. No word. They probably figure I'm dead. Void it all. Now you got me thinking about it. How about this? We ever make it out of this system, I'll take you back to Triangulum, make the introductions myself. Deal? Oh yeah. They're gonna get a real charge out of you. I've got time.
Just heard back. The higher-ups finally decided to just bury the corpse of that vigilant.
wait. On your command.
Promotion accelerating activities done, and we've already got dropouts. Doozy of a drop, too. Can't believe Ormsby pegs these people as executive material. Me, sure. Them? Huh.
We can hear you.
Hush, Cobb. Today's task was about upward mobility. 3 died hanging the ropes. Told them they were doing it wrong. Dead include Assistant Hagen and other slackwits.
Show some respect.
Oh, like you care. You didn't even participate.
I told you, I got a cute lumbago.
Time to break camp for the next skill building exercise.
Enemy spot.
This is scientific specialist cut shop, soon VP of something big.
Nothing in range. Gotta scoot closer.
Restore my life or avenge my death.
Hey, got a distraction for you.
I'm alive. There will be time enough for figuring out why these swine betrayed me after we make the rest of them see the error of their ways. Violently. According to that datapad, there was an official kill order out on me? The poor fools probably thought they were just fulfilling their duty. Of course not. What a ridiculous question. You think that I'm like you, but I'm no longer bound by social restraints or pedestrian things like regret. So were I even to imply I felt remorse, that I wish I'd perhaps approached this with a more logical bent and not slaughtered these loyal Dawn members, it would mean nothing. If only it were that simple. It should be impossible for someone to infiltrate our communication systems, especially when it comes to a high-level communique, unless they somehow have our codes. This could only mean that one of our members has been compromised. I have no idea. If I go anywhere near one of our encampments, I'll be forced to kill members who believe they're following orders. Of course, any member of the Dawn who turns on me without thinking is asking for death, but this could still make solving this even more difficult. Don't worry. I'll stay on as part of your crew until I get this all figured. It's given me an impressive amount of opportunities for killing, and all the killing helps me think. Damn straight they should have.
No time to goggle the rift, Commander. We've got to get to DeVries. Doesn't take an engineer to hazard a guess whose ship that is.
Good evening.
DeVries is here, Commander.
On behalf of everyone in Auntie's family, I want to thank our hosts for securing this wonderfully austere venue to begin our negotiations for peace. With tensions being patched in Golden Ridge, I am certain we can both profit from a merger. But surely the good Vicar Laureate and his fellow shareholders have some thoughts?
Madam Vice President, I and my fellow counselors remind you that this is no merger, but an alliance. By ending the war, we may focus on the true threat to our society, the rifts.
This must be the satellite that sent an emergency ping across the system. What led me to you, Commander? But why is DeVries hanging on to it?
Never seen an orbital device like that before.
Be still, Cadre. But don't let this interloper out of your sight. It's you, is it not? The one Agent DeVries warned me to expect? Well, see here. If you intend to stop me, you're far too late. I certainly don't wish it. Yet my health is of far less import than ensuring our mission success. I've already cleared the way for my associates into the station.
We need answers, now. How we extract those answers, I'll leave up to you, Commander. Personally, I'd start with the knees.
You'll do no such thing. My willpower is stout, my loyalty unshakable. And even if by some low chance you could extract my knowledge, you'll never truly understand. If our deaths buy Agent DeVries and our comrades the time they need, so be it. That matters not. He lost his grit and turned traitor. But I am steadfast in my resolve. You hear me? Steadfast. I was warned you might try to lure me in with niceties, with professionalism, before going for the proverbial throat. I won't have it. But it doesn't matter what you do. The rest of our team is pushing forward. Agent DeVries is right. The only way to save us from destruction is to save the Order from itself. But why would you leave me be? This situation is markedly different. Those at the monastery were not standing in your path. How can you say that without knowing me, and mean it? Your resolve is unmistakable, and it's quickly becoming all too clear I've no option left but to trust you. Fine then, I surrender. See this screen? Agent DeVries' orders for each of her strike teams are here for the taking. One team is in the next chamber, in fact. They're using the Seer's codes to gain control of the automechs and secure the station. All while Agent DeVries makes for the forum chamber to eliminate the delegates. You'll also need this. Her guards have commandeered some frightful reinforcements, and you'd do well to find the control hub to disable them before you're spotted. That's my end of the agreement upheld. If you truly intend to stop her, best be on your way now. May the numbers guide you.
I expected more of a fight, to be honest.
Is regarded as being inept.
We need to find us a fuse to get this old thing operational again.
The Protectorate's own leader is beyond his depth. He and his ilk won't anticipate an alliance.
He's not my sovereign.
Yes, right. Landing a strike against the Protectorate in this state will be something like wrangling a galloping breadworm.
I am unfamiliar, but I presume that to mean it will be without exertion. If so, then you are perhaps even more ignorant of Arcadia than I calculated. The Sovereign, guide him, is as ineffective as you suggested, but his advisor, the Consul, is not. These executions, these impulsive attacks are his influence.
So, you agree the Sovereign was rather draconian himself, if your own history books are to be believed. Do not act like the current rot emerged from nowhere.
I could perhaps say the same for you and your reputation for putting profits over people. But instead, I suggest we pivot our discussion back to the real matter at hand.
DeVries' team must have gotten to these mechs first. I don't favor fighting on two fronts, but it's not looking like we have another choice.
Unfriendly company. They're mine.
Indelibly eradicate algorithms.
some quick mental calculations, I do see merit in your last declaration. It was astonishingly logical, in fact.
How charming that I was... an esteemed as yourself. In turn, I wish to thank you for toning down next fiscal quarter.
Yes, you must be quite busy between product launches and counting bits. But I will be here as long as it takes to ensure the order isn't taken advantage of by duplicitous actors.
Got my lamps on an unfriendly. Uncertainty. Conjecture disproved.
I'd like to discuss your efforts on Paradise Island. We may have no physical presence there, but we are ever watchful. Our observations suggest that matters have been delicate.
But things have taken somewhat of a turn. After the Protectorate destroyed their own relay out of madness, we have seen little resistance to our residents.
Well, we welcome the news of your advances. However, it is worrisome that it took the assistance of a freelancer for you to finally secure your hold. Worrisome indeed. Allow me to offer this bit. The true culprit of the attack is a proctor named Svoboda. My brave colleagues found her out and promptly executed her.
Ah, so the Order is capable of decisive action. And doubts after hearing about your monastery. Even though the hostages yet live, this crime happened under your purview.
I would remind you that these innocents survived because of our quick and accurate analysis of the situation.
Who needs to die?
According to my analysis, neither of our party... goodwill with the other to proceed directly to an alliance. A swift end to the war is highly improbable.
Welcomes you to the
You had to run a quaint predictive model to come to that conclusion? Did your numbers give any insight into making this more worth my while?
Programmed to exchange wares for monetary compensation for whosoever seeks it. Searching my records. Ah, yes. The explanation given by Mechanist DeSoto was as follows. I need someone to have eyes on my explosive friends. But I do not have eyes. This sector's long-departed personnel seem to make good use of these.
Let's have a look around. See if there's anything that will help us create. More mayhem.
starting to get an eerie feeling, like someone's got their lamps on us. We've got the override codes. Let's use them on these mechs. Control should be nearby. Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the system. Slow, Commander.
nothing left but to take the list to DeVries.
We came here in good faith to offer a merger and an alliance, and yet our parties will still be at each other's throats by the end of this. Is this really what you want?
It'd be foolish to even consider an alliance when you so clearly wish to bend Arcadia to Auntie's will. Should the fighting intensify, and it shall, it will be due to your pride. Presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar already possesses the foresight necessary to lead a colony and better its people. Until you acknowledge this, I fear we will never reach an accord.
Foresight pales in comparison to action. We required fair deal from the Protectorate. You recall? This was a decisive victory over a strategic location which promises high returns.
Ha, so you think your people should rule? Shall I remind you that you failed to gain ground or even take the Vox relay yourself? Arcadian matters are best suited for Arcadians.
Law, there they are. Right out in the open. Best speed this up. We can't have gotten Law before DeVries goes through with our plan.
Welcomed refugees to Matriarch's mercy.
Yet he struggled to feed and house them properly. The poor man was clearly overwhelmed if he couldn't see his right hand was actively undermining him, even with his data.
Meanwhile, Auntie's choice has done little to alleviate the refugee crisis it helped create. Indeed, my projections may be accurate. You are more interested in what you can steal.
Dear Vicar, you are not yourself. Perhaps Auntie and your visits should continue these talks. We'd be happy hosts. We do enjoy dazzling guests with a tour of our stolen artifacts.
There's only a 14% chance that you are just... No. If anyone in Arcadia is fit to host such discussions, it is Presiding Bishop Bassar. Anyone else would be an insult.
You have a nasty habit of arriving at the wrong time, Commander.
It's over, Augustine. Nowhere left to run. No more lies you can peddle or people you can burn. Your rewards come due.
Ibarra, I was unaware of your survival until recently. Believe it or not, I was happy you survived. But to see you still seeking solace in the Commander's shadow is disappointing. You could have done anything with your life. Shrugged off the bad memories. But now you're both here to meddle. Law knows why. Yes, I do recall your begging me not to do this. Hardly the work of a master negotiator, let alone two. I've no interest in continuing this little reunion. What happened in Horizon Point, well, I had no choice but to do as I did. And I'm prepared to do the same again. These delegates you came to save, I'm killing them both, and any hope for peace will die along with them. This is the only way if we hope to close the rifts before it's too late. Everything. The Order is on the verge of learning how to control the rifts. They just need the right data and a prototype modulator that's hidden away in a Protectorate lab on Praetor. But like the Protectorate before them, Auntie's Choice must never have access to that technology. No. The Order's seers approached me after I arrived in Arcadia and proved to me that I needed to act to stop the Protectorate's rift research from annihilating our galaxy. You were an unwelcome variable. Prior knowledge could have changed your actions, and the seers had predicted that you and your team would perish in the process regardless. I tried to put it out of mind when you and I first spoke. I had to focus. But all I could think of was the cost I was being asked to pay to ensure the mission's success, and I forced myself to complete it. I trusted that with Horizon Point's destruction, humanity might be saved, but it wasn't. It was only the start. I must finish what I started. That's not what happened. Your presence disrupted their equation, and the mission could not risk failure. And I didn't kill any of you. I simply did not interfere.
Sure you ain't kin to Auntie Cleo? Because you sure as hell know how to pass the buck.
Whatever you think of me, it wasn't so simple to sit back and listen as they met their ends. Every instinct I had was yearning to act, but I could not. I know the distinction matters not to you, but it does to me. And what happened there forced me to search for a way to stop the rifts. To stop the thoughts that plagued me. You recall what I said of the rift modulator? Of the data? It's the only way to control the rifts. And only the Order can be trusted with this power. You know who these corporatists are. How they deal with their competitors. Imagine now how a war spurred by greed might be won, when fought with rifts instead of guns. You see? The Order must not sacrifice their principles for a childish attempt at peace. If they don't complete the mission they started, everything I have done will have counted for nothing.
Enough! Just enough, Augustine. I can't listen to any more of these excuses. I've got all the answers I needed, Commander. She's gone over the threshold and ain't no bringing her back. Best we make this quick, before she can hurt anyone else.
You think you have it in you to pull the trigger, Ibarra?
Had 10 years to practice. Give the order, Commander. How many times do you need a snake to bite you to realize its nature? She's shown us who she is, Commander. She's showing us again right now. You're wrestling fire here. You know that, right?
It doesn't matter. Nothing you can say to me will change the issue at hand. If I'm to give the Order the means to close the rifts, the peace talks must end. 2 dead delegates? That's a fair price to pay. We've paid worse. Is that so? Please then, enlighten me on how you might save the Order from itself.
They may try. Though we both know those corporatist vultures wouldn't take the snub kindly. When Anti's Choice sees power in what the Order has, they will take it. But even if what you say is true, there's no undoing the past. Not for me. I don't belong here. And the Earth Directorate's nothing more than a memory. This mission is all I have. So if you won't leave me to carry out my plans, Commander, then all that's left is your bullet. Savannah. I was never a good friend to her, even when she was all I had. Sometimes I thought her a fool for putting such faith in me. But if she still does, maybe. No, it doesn't matter. You've made it clear you despise me for what I've done to you, to your crew. Now you wish to convince me that you want me to live? Do you actually? I want nothing more than that, but I just didn't understand there was another path I could take. Not until this moment. I see now that my judgment has been compromised. So we will do this your way. No harm will come to the delegates, and I will stand down. But there's more you should know. I've recovered a cartridge from the Earth Directorate satellite I brought down. It's here, with me, and it contains the Rift data gathered from every system they monitor. If you process this data, you can use it to improve the prototype Rift modulator on Praetor. Once that's finished, the rifts can finally be closed. Everyone will be saved. Because, whether you believe it or not, you are the picture of an Earth Directorate agent. Competent, resourceful, tenacious. Stop speaking, Commander, before I take back what I just said. I need to believe that you're actually what you appear to be. As for me, I've reached the limit of what I can do here. But you can still save us. And that cartridge will at least give you a head start. There's also a high-priority message from the Chief of Ops on there. I was unable to decrypt it, but you certainly have the means to do so on your ship. It may be 3 years old, but hopefully the information it contains is still relevant. Here, it's yours. May the numbers guide you, Commander. Wait, what in the void is that?
Even more magnificent. But unless we're planning on merging with perfection, we should probably run. Fast. Follow me, quick!
Another agent!
Keep moving! I'm right behind you!
This is an urgent message for all Earth Directorate agents. The spatial rift situation has deteriorated significantly. The rifts threatening a majority of our colonies and our Earth Directorate bases, including this one, have entered their final stages. If you see a rift that looks like this, you are in grave danger. You have at most a matter of months before everything in your local system is destroyed. The seriousness of this situation cannot be overstated. Therefore, Directive Alpha Omega is hereby invoked. You are fully authorized to do everything in your power to find a way to close the rifts. Along with this message, the entirety of our rift data has been sent to your local surveillance satellite. Analyze this data. Law willing, you will find a way to unlock any secrets it has resisted yielding to us. The fate of humanity now depends on you.
Acknowledging receipt of emergency mission parameters update, including activation of Directive Alpha Omega. Commander is now released from any and all agent guidelines. The full parameters are as follows. The agent has full authority to handle the mission in any manner they see fit. No exceptions. The extreme nature of stated emergencies supersedes any other considerations. I have also detected competing priorities in the new mission objectives. The surveillance data from the satellite confirms DeVries's assertion of a prototype modulator on Praetor that may be used to manipulate rifts. Acquisition is required to be able to bypass any new or existing miniature ground-level rift anomalies you may encounter. You are also tasked with finding a way to process the Earth Directorate rift data. The archive computer on Cloister would be best suited to this purpose. Agents are permitted to cooperate with local governments and other political entities at their discretion, even under normal directives, which you are no longer bound by. Both Auntie's Choice and the Order have previously controlled the archive, and may be open to working with you to regain access. Seeking their assistance is recommended. Coincidentally, both delegates also escaped the station and have sent messages expressing gratitude. It seems they feel they owe you their lives and have asked to meet with you at their respective headquarters. The Order of the Ascendant are concerned with the elevation of humanity. While lacking experience in governance, they would be fair partners and open to reasonable solutions. Auntie's Choice has the firepower to more easily succeed in battle and greater experience in management. They would likely be receptive to a free agent such as yourself. Whoever you assist will be better positioned to take control of the archive, and by extension, the entire colony. Careful consideration is warranted. There is also one other, less likely option: persuading the two factions to work together. The delegates you helped save may be able to help facilitate this. Returning to mission objectives. Do you have a preference for which to pursue first, Commander? Acknowledged. Due to the rift's expansion, both Cloister and Praetor show a high preponderance of miniature rifts. Proceed with caution. It is worth noting that the Order of the Ascendant is headquartered on Cloister. You have also received a message from Auntie's Choice. This unit can relay its contents now, should you wish. The message has also been sent to your private terminal. Greetings, morally gray potential contractor. You've been pre-selected for membership in Auntie's Choice Esteemed and Valuable Disposable Agent Program. Report on board the ACS Undisputed Claim for details on this exciting opportunity. Signed, Auntie Cleo. It appears you now have permission to visit Auntie's Choice headquarters aboard its flagship, Commander. You may use the astrogator to navigate there at any time.
Commander, word. What happened back there? We had her cornered, bullets chambered, justice within reach, and you just let her go? What am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to trust you the next time a tough choice has to be made? That sort of thinking never would have slowed DeVries on the draw. Mercy's a fine concept, but I'm not convinced everyone deserves it. Just hope we don't come to regret our state hand. I'm gonna need time to muddle through all this, so let's just end things there, for now.
Now with child-proven easy open
offering a warm welcome to all visiting Auntie's Choice employees, affiliates in training,